Okay, I'm going to present the report to the superintendent for Alamo Elementary. Um, the first thing I'm going to share with you is our vision statement. Our vision statement is that Alamo is committed to fostering a learning community where all students are held to high expectations and encouraged to succeed in all academic areas. And I think keywords here are high expectations and succeed. I think that when we set the bar really high for our students, they try um, their best to reach those expectations. And when they do, it's so rewarding. Our track record, which is this next slide, is actually a testament to our vision statement actually being played out. Alamo has earned the state's highest accountability rating for the last 5 years, which is exemplary. And being exemplary is no easy feat for any school, but much less for a school that has a challenging student population such as we do. And you'll see in a minute why I say that. So we take great pride in being exemplary, and as I said, this is a testament to our vision actually being carried out. And how does this happen? Well, the key players here are the students, the teachers and staff, and the community, and together, working together, collaborating, planning, and communicating effectively, we are able to get our students where they need to be. And let's look at the student population. As I said earlier, we have a very challenging student population. You can see very quickly looking at the chart that the largest subgroup on the pie graph is the economically disadvantaged students. It makes up more than half of our student population. The next largest group is our at-risk group, and I'm sure that there's a lot of overlap between our at-risk and economically disadvantaged. I feel like those two things go hand in hand many times. And so, as I said before, being exemplary for 5 years in a row is very impressive considering the students that we're working with. After looking at our student population, I want to take a minute just to say that parents are very important and that parental involvement is very powerful. And I think that when parents take an active role in their students' education, then there really are no limits. And we strive to engage our parents and welcome them and break down any barriers that might be keeping them from becoming involved in their students' education and in the school community as a whole. The next group I want to talk about is our staff. The first fact on the screen that you will see there is that the average years of experience is 14 years. What that means is that we have very few new or novice teachers. Most of our teachers are seasoned, very experienced, and even veteran teachers. And I think that that contributes to a wealth of knowledge, and we have lots of tools in our teacher toolbox to reach these students that come to us with very limited background knowledge. And so I think all of our teacher experience really does make a difference. The community is also important in our student success. You'll see there that we have PIE partners, and those are the professional partners in education that are committed to our schools. Many of those are professional organizations, and we also have volunteers. Our PIE partners do volunteer their time, but in addition to volunteering their time, they also volunteer resources such as food, snacks, sometimes clothing, and other materials that we might need at school. And then volunteers come from various sectors, not just our PI partners, but we also have student volunteers from the university and from the high school, and then from nonprofit organizations in the community. And another thing that I included on the community slide is field trips, because I do believe that when we utilize the resources within our community, such as Riverbend Nature Center or our public library, I believe that that enriches our students' learning experience, because many times they don't have those experiences. And so through our field trips, we can get out into the community and build on their knowledge. And I think that that also aids in their success. In addition to our parents and our teachers and staff and our community, we have some special programs at Alamo. Of course, we have after school tutoring, which could be before school tutoring, and that is usually conducted by the teachers. And then we have homework help hour, which happens right after school. And that is not necessarily tutoring that has been, required by the teachers, but this is an extra effort for students who may not have adults at home that can help them with their homework. We have volunteers come in after school and help these students get their homework done before they even leave campus. So that way they don't have to worry about, having someone to read aloud to or someone check over their math homework. We have some volunteers that come in and do that for them. Power packs are snack packs that are put together for our economically disadvantaged students, and these packs are provided by a local church and delivered to the school weekly. The packs are sent home with the students, and that is just to ensure that they have some kind of nutrition over the weekend, especially when they're not with us participating in the National Lunch Program, where they have free breakfast offered to them and then also lunch during the day. Number Sense and Student Council are two student organizations that allow the students to become involved and kind of take some leadership roles. Number Sense competes on a regular basis throughout the district, and that's kind of like a math club. And then we have Student Council, and Student Council does quite a bit of community service in Wichita Falls. And both of those organizations or student groups really provides an outlet for the students to, connect to school in a different way, not just, books and homework and studying, but it also gives them a different, perspective, on what school is about and how they can have a community within the community of school. And I think that that contributes to them enjoying their school experience, which in turn will also affect their student achievement. Okay, so if we look at the plan, how are we going to get all this done and make sure that our students are successful and that our vision is carried out? Well, we have the SBDMC, we have PLCs, and then we have our parents. And if you're not sure what those are, I'm going to explain those a little bit more. Okay, we have our site-based decision-making committee, and they really take an active role in working with the principal in designing the campus improvement plan each year. And the committee is made up of grade level chairs and also departmental chairs. And they give the principal insight, into the heartbeat of the school. As I said before, they're grade level chairs. So if you look below the SBDMC, you'll see PLCs, and the PLCs provide support for teachers and allow for collaboration within the grade levels and between the grade levels. These are learning communities made up of grade level teachers that come together and collaborate. And then we also have departmental PLCs, where it's like you have a representative from each grade level attend, and then they bring the information back to their grade levels. And these two groups are instrumental in facilitating open and constant communication on our campus. And we all know that's very, very important to success. So we communicate our concerns and even our goals through these two groups. And the next slide is going to talk about our budgets and funding, and how once we look at the budget, we can more formally address our goals, based on what we have to work with, our funding. And so the first graph you'll see is our budget by function, and you will see the largest chunk of this pie goes to instruction, which makes sense. And then the next chart is going to show by program, and you will see here the largest chunk is dedicated to regular education. Well, that's the largest student population that we have, is our regular education students, and so it makes sense that the largest portion of our funding goes in that direction. And so after looking at the budget in these two different ways, the site-based decision-making committee decides how to divide each section of the pie and how it's going to be best used based on our AEIS data, so our testing data. Considering that we've been exemplary for so long, it seems that the budgeting is done responsibly and effectively in order to carry out our vision. Parent involvement. This is something, I said we have the SBDMC and we have the PLCs, and then we have our parents. And again, I just want to reiterate, parents that take an active role in their students' education and the school community have a positive impact on student success. I wanted to put a YouTube video in here. There's so many really good ones about parent involvement, but I didn't find one that I thought was general enough. They're very specific. So that's a good resource for you to remember if you're wanting to implement parent involvement activities at your school. But it really does make a difference. And then after looking at how staff, teachers and staff, parents, and the community come together and collaborate, after looking at how they do that, we can see that it's very easy for there to be an exceptional learning environment where the students will have no other choice but, to achieve and succeed. And even though we work with a very challenging population, we really do expect a lot from them. And I have so many people ask me all the time, what is it that you guys do at Alamo? Because everyone is surprised, I think, at the track record. But I always tell each and every person that asks me that it is dedicated teachers, and everybody pulling for those kids. It is a joint group effort, and not only are teachers involved, parents are involved, and the community is also involved in kind of cheering them on, and also having high expectations for them. And I think that when you do that for students, especially young ones at the elementary level, they really do strive to meet those expectations. The next slide is just a couple of references for you where I got the 5-Minute University. If you have a chance, please look that up. It's really funny, and I wanted to include it, but I ran out of time. And then where I got our AEIS data